You graduate with honors. Your mother cries when she sees the uniform. You think the badge is a shield. You don't know yet it's just a target. Welcome to the loneliest job in the world. The pay is a joke before you even walk your first beat. Your first posting is a municipal precinct in a northern border state. The building smells of stale coffee and old fear. Your patrol car has miles on it that could reach the moon. The vest is expired. You're protecting a city you can't afford to live in. After rent and food, you have almost nothing left. That fact sits between you and your wife at every dinner. The silence is expensive. Commandant Robles runs the precinct. He's been here 11 years. No one can explain how he affords the luxury car outside on a civil servant salary. He calls you in. He doesn't threaten you. He just explains the plumbing. The cartel controls the plaza. The police are part of the structure. He hands you an envelope, a month's wages in one stack. Coordination bonus, he says. Door open. Middle of the day. You say no. Robles just looks at you with pity. Everyone has a price, kid, he says. I'm just waiting to find yours. You eat alone. You patrol alone. They call you the preacher. Like wanting to do the job right is a religious mania. You watch the world through the steam on the window and wonder if you're the only one left who still remembers the oath. Then your daughter gets sick. The clinic wants cash up front for antibiotics. You check your pockets. You check the jar. Empty. You take the envelope. You tell yourself it's a one-time thing. That's the first lie, the one that opens the door. You pay the bills. You buy your wife new shoes. The money doesn't feel dirty because it fills clean gaps. That's the design. They buy you with normalcy. Your first real job is a checkpoint. Robles gives you a list of plates. Those trucks pass. Everything else gets stopped. You memorize them like exam answers. Getting it wrong means someone loses a fortune. You're just a traffic light with a badge. You learn the other language. Heavy people means cartel. Gift means bribe. He fled means you let him go. You speak official language in reports and real language on the street. The gap between them is where your integrity used to be. The scope grows slowly. Not a cliff, a ramp. First trucks, then names. Then you look the other way for a shipment. One night, you call in a fake shootout to clear a corridor. The trucks roll through. You're not just watching anymore. You're building the road. Your cut is more than your annual salary. You buy a fireproof safe and bolt it inside your bedroom closet. Your wife asks what it's for. Important documents, you say. You realize you're selective law enforcement now. You still arrest people. Thieves, independents. Just never the ones connected to the organization. You're maintaining a monopoly. The first body costs you 2 nights of sleep. By the 10th, you eat dinner an hour later without thinking about it. You help your daughter with homework with hands that just wiped a scene. That ability should terrify you most. It doesn't. Cardenas is your contact. Polite. Efficient. He brought your daughter a stuffed animal for her birthday. She sleeps with it. The man who funds your corruption bought your child a toy she loves. The worlds aren't separate. You see him at a restaurant with his wife. He nods. A coworker's nod. You spend dinner performing normalcy. Your partner starts asking questions. He notices the patterns. He starts keeping notes. Your stomach drops. You tell Robles. He transfers him. But your partner keeps pushing. He files a complaint. He becomes a problem. Cardenas mentions it like a project manager identifying a delay. Not angry, just an action item. You try to warn him. He says he cares about the job. You recognize the tone. It's the one you had 3 years ago. He's found dead 3 weeks later. You carry his coffin. You give the widow cash from your safe. Blood money. You get methodical. You hide a spreadsheet in a hollowed-out Bible. You haven't opened a real one in years. You try to quit. Robles explains the physics. Inside, you're an asset. Outside, you're a liability. Liabilities get resolved. Your wife knows. She asked you to tell her the truth. I know what a liar looks like, she says. You don't tell her. Silence is the only protection you can offer. She doesn't know that either. You become a training officer. You teach them the speech. Then you watch to see who keeps the envelopes. You've reproduced the exact system that swallowed you. It's not a bug. It's the architecture. The cartel's candidate wins. He speaks about fighting corruption. The taxpayers fund their own oppression. Democracy is just a puppet show with excellent production values. And you're pulling the strings. Your son wants to be a cop. You tell him to be anything else. He thinks you're modest. You're just terrified. You help a woman find her husband. You do a good deed. The math doesn't balance. It never will. A federal agent approaches you. She knows everything. She offers immunity for testimony. You ask who you testify to. She names the prosecutor you saw eating with the cartel. There is no outside. You hand the card back. The machine is everywhere. There is no exit door. That night, you eat with your family. You calculate the distance between who you were and who you are. The distance is huge, not because you fell, but because the ground moved under you slowly, until the man you were was just a ghost in a uniform. You'll do it all again tomorrow, not because you want to, but because you took that first envelope. You don't decide when to stop. The machine decides. You're just a part that hasn't worn out yet. Honesty isn't a choice here. It's a life sentence in a city that forgot the word. Good night. May you find a peace you deserve.